our real estate community and share ideas, share some experiences and some knowledge as we go through this historical time. On a happier note, it is Puppy Day. So if you have a puppy, happy Puppy Day. And just share some joy and then post your puppy pictures. And there's a great app, and it's called My Talking Pet app. And if you go to my page, I quickly took a picture of Bee this morning and using the app.
This is Bee Happy, and I'm here to wish you a happy puppy day. I'm a happy puppy, and my name is Bee Happy.
So anyway, it's a cute little app that you can get. Let's see if we can see it here. It's just called my puppy app. It's really easy to use. That little thing. Just let's see. Joan wants to know where she goes to see us. Jimmy, talk for a second while I.
Okay. Today is a good day, and it's kind of gray outside. The little boy told his mom when the rain clouds came in, "Mom, the sun's gone." She says, "No, it's not gone. It's still there. It's just behind those clouds." So this is a good day for us to get out and meet some people and talk to some people, because the ones that are out now, these are the serious people that we want to talk to.
Yes, exactly. Let me get this gal. She wants to join us.
I actually wanted to take a different cut today, Ruth,
okay,
if I can.
Please.
We talked about the Buffini Pathway to Mastery course yesterday, and I want to just make sure we remind everybody today it starts April 3rd, so it's coming up really quick.
Yes.
It's about $400 plus shipping for the materials, and that's just for the materials. Ruthie doesn't get anything for having this course, nor do I. It's just strictly to build the real estate community. But what I wanted to say is, you don't need to pay a coach to have accountability. You need a real estate partner, and it can be anybody you work with.
Yeah.
And when you have that person, the 3 coaching questions never change. It's what have you done, how did it work, and what are you going to do next?
Right.
And the what have you done question, that's kind of holding you accountable for, this is what you told me you're going to do. What have you actually done? And how did it work? Is there anywhere that I can help you with any coaching or any conversation? And even brand new agents, experienced agents, we can support each other. And this is the time when we really need to jump in and support each other. And this is the time, I think, when you need to get accountability, partly because of the numbers you're going to show us, Ruth, and the fact that a lot of misinformation is going around and a lot of disinformation. And for us to stay focused and clear, it really comes down to, what are you doing? How's it working? And what are you going to do next?
Right.
That's it.
Yeah. I agree. And last year we had 646 cancellations as of the 19th of March. And this year we had 453. And I know that those numbers are going to change. So let's look at the new listings. So last year we had 5,355 new listings in March. And this year we've got 4,944.
Slow down. You're telling me we had 200 less cancellations this year than we did last year? 200 less, a third less cancellations. That's what I'm hearing.
Yes.
A third less. Now, yes, it'll go up. But then you're also telling me, we have talked about this over and over, inventory is down, and the new listings that are coming on the market, it's down again.
Yeah.
So it's still going to be a seller's market.
Yes. Yeah, it is. Still going to be a seller's market. And let's look here, Jimmy. So the new listings are down a little bit. So like you just said, hold on a minute. And let's see sales. So last year we had 4,469, and this year we have 3,241. So they're down a bit, but that could be also because the listings are down, but available homes are down. But I was in my mind trying to figure out how many listings that is, or sales that is per week. So that's about 1,000 a week this year. And what is that, Jimmy? About 1,400?
Yeah, last year it's more like 1,400.
Yeah.
And this year it's like 1,000.
Yeah, so we're down about 400 sales per week. We'll see what happens. We got 2 listings over the weekend, and they're vacant homes, and there's a lot of live videos and open houses that you can do on vacant homes, and provide masks and some hydrogen peroxide, which does kill the coronavirus, and some gloves. If it's vacant, you don't have to ask the sellers to leave, of course. So I'm looking forward to trying to sell these 2 homes in this market and share the experience that I have doing that.
Well, people are working and people are making transactions happen. And we talked about there's a really, I'm sorry, hi, it's Jimmy Dagg, D-A-G-U-E. Sorry, Ruth.
That's okay. So Jimmy,
Yes. Sorry.
Jimmy had an unfortunate experience over the weekend. Some people actually stole some things from him, and I don't know, but I have to tell you that John had a closing that didn't close on Friday. It's supposed to close today and over the weekend. Hi, Jack. Glad to see you joining us. Jack Woodcock is with us this morning. And anyway, over the weekend, somebody broke into the new home. So I think that we're going to have to watch closely our listings and be very safe. I don't know if it's a coincidence that what happened to John and then what happened to Jimmy, somebody stole some things from him over the weekend. So not so sure why that is. If you all have any experiences, or Jack, what are you seeing in the marketplace? And do you have any words of wisdom for us? I know you and I and Jimmy have been around a long time. So if you have anything to share, just write it in the comments. And I think Joan Bennett was trying to get on with us. I don't know if what her issue was. I was trying to help her. But I think it's a good time for everybody to learn how to do video. This is a fantastic time to be in front of people and sharing with them what's going on in our market. We've got people are still signing sales now. They did come out with the new LVR guidelines for sellers being, or owners being, or I'm sorry. Slow down, Ruth. With buyers being able to cancel. And there, Joan got on. Hi, Joan. Thank you so much for joining us. Good. And there's Karen. Karen, thank you for joining us. Karen, you had a great experience last week. You actually sold a home from an open house. And Joan, have you had any good experiences or any words of wisdom? We want to try to keep connected to our community here and hold these little sessions every morning so people can learn that, even though there are problems, we can still show homes if we're very, very careful. We don't have to drive in the same car with the buyers. The sellers, if you have a seller, they can go in the backyard. So there's things that you can do, and as long as I think the key here is to tell people, look, I'm going to bring a buyer by. He's a serious buyer, or he wouldn't be out at this point in time. So that's some good news for the seller, but also that you can, you have gloves, you have masks, or even booties, anything that you can do to make the seller feel comfortable. And they can step outside, because as long as they're not within 6 feet of someone, they're telling us that you can't really catch the virus from someone else. So I have to believe what their CDC is saying. And it's a matter of just staying connected to your sellers and your buyers and giving them as much precaution as you can. And like I said, vacant homes are pretty easy. That's kind of like a no-brainer to show someone. And if they want to look at the house without you, you can stay in the car, open up the house, and they can look at the house without you. So we need to get a little bit creative so that we can keep our industry going. And there are still people out there that want to buy homes. Um, I think that perhaps the issue of the value of the homes after this is all over is perhaps something that we need to think about. And wish Jimmy could come back on, but he had to take that important phone call. But I'd love to hear everybody else's suggestions about that. And Karen, you're saying, oh, well, good. Yeah, it's Facebook and just Ruth Allbrand. So hopefully they can find us. And Joan, you're being proactive and you're sending out weekly newsletters to all your possibilities. And y'all have to learn how to do video. It's really not difficult, especially live on Facebook. I mean, I do a walk every morning. And this morning I just, I don't show my face at 5:30 in the morning or 6 o'clock. Here, Jimmy's back. Let's get Jimmy back. Okay, let's hide this, hide this. Jimmy, can you hear me? I can't hear you. You need to fix your microphone.
Okay, now we're live.
Now we're live again.
Sorry about that.
No, I hope you get that resolved. I was just saying while you were off the air that John had a closing that was supposed to happen on Friday, and I forget what happened. Something with it was a new home. Anyway, they didn't close Friday, and over the weekend, some kids broke into the home.
Oh no.
Yeah, and I don't know what's going to happen today with that, but obviously the builder's responsible for fixing it. But was your experience? Do you think? I tell you, I know it's crazy. It's crazy. Do you think that your situation was connected with with our what we're going through?
You know, I've lived on that street 11 years, and I left my car unlocked one time before, and they took my laptop. So I should have learned my lesson that time, but that's been about 6 or 8 years ago. And at the time that happened, I understood 2 or 3 other cars were broken into at the same time. I haven't heard anything for the last few years, but I left my car unlocked, and there's people out running around.
Wow.
So,
yeah.
And my money was not visible, but it wasn't that hard to find. The car was unlocked. They got in the car, they got in the glove box, and they got in my console. And unfortunately, that's where I kept all my ID and stuff. So one of my cards is canceled, and now I have to go to kiosk and get a new driver's license. And B of A is my next stop. But
just what you need in this.
In the scheme of things, it's not the worst things that could happen.
I know, but I know how tough that is. I had my purse stolen out of my car years and years ago, and it was quite a mess. And it was kids that did it.
I'm sure this was kids too. They're looking for easy money.
Yeah. So we were talking about, some of the things like showing vacant houses and making the buyers feel comfortable, and then any suggestions people have about making the sellers feel comfortable.
And I saw Joan wade in. That was cool.
Yeah. Joan made it in, and Karen's here, and Jack Woodcock.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's Jack.
Good to hear from Jack. Yeah, good to hear. I see him on the side now.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah. And Karen's there, and Karen is asking her agents to join us. We need people to join and give us comments and let us know what they're doing. What they're doing in this time to make their buyers and sellers feel comfortable. And if you don't have any buyers and sellers right now, it's a great time to do live videos and to be out in front of people. And Kane and I will be doing our social media class live. We'll live stream it. So that's the 30th of March, which is a Monday. And then I think it's Wednesday and Thursday are the second and third class. But anyway, you can go to agentformula.com, click the training tab, and it will show you all the things that are going on right now. And Jimmy, we're on the calendar for every morning at 9 o'clock. So
for the next week, for the next few days, I know.
Yeah.
And I'll be here. I'm not getting my car messed up again. But I think that, what we talked about, or what I talked about a minute ago about the coaching and the accountability, this maybe helps towards accountability. But yesterday I mentioned one of my agents that had an open house, and she had 3 people. 2 were really serious. She had the same house open again yesterday, and she got some really good leads. So people are still out looking for houses. And if you keep doing the work, this has been my message that I've carried throughout the time here, is go to work, talk to your people. And if you just want to be a human being, just say, look, I'm just calling to check in. How are you doing? That's fine. You don't have to mention real estate. They know interest rates are low. They know there's going to be people that pull back right now, and this might be a good time to buy. Some people have figured that out.
Yes. Yeah, they have. And I think what we're going to do, perhaps tomorrow, the next day, is a chart on, the price of home versus the price of the interest rate to show people the difference. Because there's not a big difference in the monthly payment, as we talked about the other day, when the interest rate is low, even though the prices may fluctuate a little bit here. I don't think it's going to make a big difference in the payment.
Well, and the numbers you showed, a third less fallouts this year from last year, to me, that's really significant. People haven't given up on their deal. They're still going ahead.
Yes.
That's significant.
Yeah, and John has a seller in the UK, and the buyer is here, and it's an all-cash deal, and the buyer's asking for 30 to 45 days to extend the escrow. And the bad news is that the seller doesn't want to do that. The seller says if they want the home, they need to buy the home. But, he's over in the UK, and perhaps, when you're not here and you don't feel what we're feeling, I have to give him some leeway there. I told him to think about it for a couple days, and it's see what he comes up with. But I don't know. There's going to be some people that do that, obviously.
Well, and like always, it's the lower income people that get hurt the most by this, and the service industry that's been put out of work, the highest area that we've had. Probably not the ones buying homes and selling homes right now anyway. The ones that are buying and selling, some of those industries that we've talked about, Honeywell just hired a bunch more people. A lot of companies are hiring right now and putting people to work or switching jobs. So not everyone's out of work. And I think that Sisolak is going to have to recant his 30 days and go to probably 2 weeks. We'll see.
I hope he does. I really think that's the right thing to do. I don't know how everybody else feels about that, but the reason why we say that is because if you have it, it'll show up in 2 weeks.
Well, if anybody knows politics, it's Jack Woodcock. He's in the Hall of Fame for the Political Survival Fund donors. I forget what the highest level is, but that's him. And I'm wondering if he thinks that Sisolak might come back to 2 weeks instead of 30 days. It'll be interesting to see. My son works for a helicopter company, and he was telling me that obviously they're shut down because it's tourist based. But he said there was a meeting of the top casino, the Wynn Encore, the Harrah's, and the Sheldon Adelson. They got in a room and they said, "What are you going to do?" And they started talking about closing down for 30 days. And Adelson said, "Look, you guys are idiots. I'm out." And he just walked out. He wasn't closing at all. And they finally ended up deciding they were going to close for 2 weeks. And then that's what they decided. And then the governor came out and said 30 days. And it's my understanding, and this is total rumor and speculation, it's my understanding that Harris went to the governor and said, "Look, if we're going to close down for 30 days, you got to make sure these other guys close down for 30 days too." So there's a lot of wrangling behind the scenes here. So I'm hoping they go to Sisolak and say, "Look, 2 weeks is long enough." Even the president of the POTUS says 2 weeks is long enough.
Yeah. So I think that, I don't know. I don't have a read on Sisolak.
Okay.
I just really don't. He sounded pretty adamant the other day, but we'll see. If he gets enough flack, perhaps we can open about the 16th. I think originally they were only going to close the schools for 2 weeks to the 16th.
Well, I hope that's right. We'll see. And in the meantime, you got to keep going to work. You might have to make more phone calls, do more meetings to get the same number of deals. But the number of deals is out there. You showed us the number of deals that are going under contract. Listings are selling. The business hasn't stopped. And this is the time when we really need to go to work.
Yeah. They're not as many, but they're still going. And I think for the people that didn't hear you, I think it was yesterday, talk about Mary Ann Griffith. Do you want to kind of repeat that a little bit for some of our people that are new today?
Sure. I got a flyer from Lennar Homes, and we know that Richmond American, Pulte, and Lennar control about 50% of the new home market. And I got this flyer that said, "This is our standing inventory." There were 16 houses on there, but 8 of them were in one community. So that community probably got a little overly ambitious with what they were building. But I called my friend Mary Ann Griffin that works there, and I said, "Listen," I said, "are you telling me that all Lennar has is 8 houses standing besides these 8? She said, "Yep." She said, "Not only that, but we've sold 100 houses this month so far. We haven't had any cancellations, not a single one." And she said, "The way that we've closed our offices, people have to call us and make an appointment, and we screen them before they come in." And they have some special software at Lennar that tells their agents which houses have gone under contract, so they're not trying to sell something that's already under. Saturday morning between 9 and noon, they sold 5 houses. So they're still selling houses.
They're still selling. Yeah, yeah. And to that point about the vacant homes, it's easier to look at the new homes because they're vacant and they're staged beautifully. So we may
you have
see
to make an appointment. You have to make an appointment.
Yeah. And I guess I don't know how many of the other builders are complying with that like Lennar is, but maybe I don't know if I have time to do that, to find out, to call them and see. But if you have somebody available, Jimmy, or if I do, maybe we can get some people to call and find out so we can report to everybody what new homes are open by appointment.
Yeah, I'll do some checking tonight and we'll talk about it tomorrow for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And Karen had another comment. She said that everyone should go to brianbuffini.com, sign up to receive his podcast. And Brian Buffini always has words of wisdom. So I think that's a great suggestion.
Yep.
And Karen says this too shall pass. And there's an interview with Dr. Lawrence Young, who is our economic advisor for the National Association of Realtors. And she says it's a very good podcast. So we might all want to listen to that sometime today.
Good advice. Thank you, Karen.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate that. So if nobody else has anything, I guess we'll see what this week brings. And Jimmy will be on tomorrow, and we'll be talking to people today, and hopefully we can get some more people on tomorrow to share, what your experiences are and how you're feeling, and perhaps we can help you if you have questions or need some guidelines or some guidance.
Yeah.
That's Jimmy and I have been doing this a long time, and Jimmy owns a real estate business. I own a real estate business. I own a social media company. I think, and you're a Buffini mentor. I'm a Buffini mentor. So that's why we're connecting with you and trying to help our real estate community and our friends. So hope to see everybody tomorrow. And Karen, thank you for asking your agents to join. Hopefully they were listening. And this will be live. This will be on my Facebook page. If you go to facebook.com, Ruth Allbrand, it's going to be there all day. So, and
you rock with it. You rock. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Happy Puppy Day.